Hi, this is Ryan with Springfield Leather Company. Welcome back. Today we're working on a fun project, making up the stirrup bag Andy designed. Using some of our new High Plains, Arizona leather in the tobacco color. Really nice, soft-handed, kind of thicker, almost like a heavy chap leather, but just really nice. So using some of that so we get a good soft bag that still holds its shape. Gusset and straps going to be out of some Herman Oak drum dye black with the hair cell. I think the hair cell and this pebble texture just look awesome together. So let's go ahead and get started cutting out our pieces. So first thing we're going to do here is, while we've got a nice straight edge on this softer leather, I'm going to go ahead and use a strap cutter and cut out a 3/4 inch strip. We're eventually going to need 2 of them, size shown in the pattern, to get your secondary gussets down. Just easier to work off your full side for this than trying to hand cut strips. Alright, got my strap cutter set to 3/4 and we can just go ahead and pull this through. Softer leathers do not like the strap cutter, but once you get them started, they move along. Alright, see if that's enough to get our 2 gussets. Not quite, so I'm going to cut another one of those. Alrighty, now that we got our straps cut for the gussets, I'm going to go ahead and start working on the bag panels. Alright, now that we've got these traced out, just same piece front and back, I'm going to go ahead and rough cut them and then go in and cut down to my line. I like a round knife with these stretchy leathers generally, if nothing else, because it's the sharpest knife I own. Alright, gonna go ahead and get my gusset traced out onto that Herman Oak and do the same thing, trace it and cut it. Alright, now we got our gusset, our sub gussets, and our main body panels cut. I'm gonna go ahead and start punching holes, and then later on we'll worry about our strap at that point. Alright, now that I got the holes punched here in my gusset, I'm just going to go ahead and bevel these edges so I can get a nice burnish on this before I move on to the rest of the bag, because this will all be sewn up in ways that might as well finish the edge now. Alright, before we get started punching holes on our bag body, I need to go ahead and skive this top edge so that we can fold it over nicely and have those grommets run clean through it. So I'm going to go hit these on a bell knife and I'll be right back. Alright, back from the bell knife here. Just went ahead and skived down that top edge. On your pattern, it marks this bit here, so that's all the way down to the edge alignment is kind of where you'd like to skive. So if you're doing it by hand, just use that as a reference, transfer it to your pattern. If you're using a bell knife, just set that fence good and deep. Now we'll go ahead and fold over those edges. I'm going to do so by marking it on my piece. Actually, do this on the back so I don't have to worry about hiding the markings. Just gonna grab a straight edge and strike that line all the way across so I have a nice, easy target to lay my basting tape on. Can't see it super well, but well enough to align tape. Just lined up my basting tape right along where I just marked. As you can see, I could have skived a little further, but we will be all right. Then fold my top over just flush with the far edge of that tape. All right, and same on the other side. Alright, once I get this tape down, before we start punching holes, I'm going to be hopping over to the 26 and we're going to sew these flaps down real quick. This just gives us that nice finished rolled edge for our bag, and like I said, plenty of meat for those grommets to grab into. Alright, let's get these sewn up. Alright, got my fence set, my roller edge guide set here. We're just going to sew this down real quick. Alright, now that we got that sewn down, I'm going to go ahead and punch my holes for the grommets on this piece. And the way I'm doing that is I'm just aligning the top of my fold with the fold line on the pattern, transferring my marks that way. Alright, now we got a nice clean row of holes on there to set our grommets in when the time comes. So I'm going to go ahead and punch the same holes on the other piece, and then we'll get those grommets installed. Alright, both the rows of holes are punched, ready to start setting some grommets. Alright, we've just got some 1/4 inch solid brass grommets here that we're going to use. And whenever using grommets, I always recommend a grommet setter. These Osborne ones are fantastic. 2 pieces, solid anvil, you're almost never going to have a bad set. The only real tip I've got for grommets is when you're setting them on your leather, I like to put the the larger of the 2 pieces, kind of your post, to where that is the face of the project. What that does is it just hides that curled piece in the washer. Not that those ever end up looking too bad, the face just looks a little better. So push that through, set it on my anvil, bring my washer over the top, Smack it down. All right, a couple grommets in the gusset and we'll be ready to keep moving on. So our next step is to get our D-rings mounted into our gusset here. And we don't have the slides that this strap was originally designed for, so what we're doing today is a D-ring on either end, short strap, center bar buckle, and then a strip with 2 billets running over for the strap, so it's still got that full adjustability for you. I went ahead and split these tabs down to about a 4 or 5 ounce. Since they're veg, that's going to be plenty thick and plenty durable. Alright, so the way this D-ring tab is going to work, you're going to start by folding it around your ring, pushing it through that slot from the front. I just go all the way down till I can't really pull it snug anymore, still have a little room on that to move. Come up here and just bend these tabs out. And then we're gonna hop over to machine and stitch those down. All right, now that we got our D-ring stitched on here, all we need to do is go through and sew the rest of the bag together. We start by sewing our secondary gussets onto our body panels. Then we'll sew all that to our main gusset. All right, so I'm just measuring out the length on these sub gussets real quick. Just a matter of laying that along and matching up the end. And it is a lot easier to measure against leather than it is paper, so switch for this one. All right, when we sew these to our body panels, what we're gonna do is sew them face to face, where the gusset is laying over the front of the bag body. That's gonna give us that inset bag body once we get it all put together. So I'm gonna throw some tape on this gusset and get to working it on there. So on this, I'm using some 1/4 inch basting tape. I was out of 1/8 inch when I got started on this, but generally I'd recommend 1/8 inch or even just glue. But with the 1/4 inch, I can go through after I'm done sewing, use a rubber eraser and clean that excess out if it's visible. All right, so just tape these down, aligning that edge flush, and like I said, overhanging face to face on the inside of the bag. This leather is really thick, but like I said, it's plenty pliable, so even at this full weight that it comes in at, I'm still able to get this gusset to bend around these corners no problem at all. Andy's good at this. I mean, you look at that, that is dead even. So if anyone's ever working on this pattern, I just want to let you know, go ahead and give Andy a thank you in your mind when you do it, because that gusset is exactly the right length. So good work, Andy. All right, and just stitching around this with normal, somewhere in the neighborhood of an 1/8 inch seam allowance. All right, just gonna lay that same basting tape along the outside of my gusset here, making sure that I can get everything sewn up all the way. So what I'm doing here, and I imagine you're not gonna be able to see it on camera, but I'm laying this tape down where the edge of it lines up just with the end of my bevel. So right where that leather flattens back off. So this way, this edge will be tucked back from that nice finished edge I did already. So now we're gonna take this little gusset we sewed on before, line it up here, and tape it down folded out to the firm gusset on the outside. All right, we've got one side all lined up and taped down. I'm gonna go ahead and sew this to where the gusset, the main gusset, is on top here. That way our nice pretty stitches are visible and the little rougher ones on the back are gonna be inside here where you'll barely be able to see them. All right, folks, that's the bag made. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and get to work on those straps. All right, so I've just got a spare strap, a little bit of scrap we had around the shop here. It's a little too wide for what we need, so I'm gonna use strap cutter and get down to a 3/4 inch strap. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut a little 5-inch strap for both ends of the bag. That way we can mount our little center bar buckles and have that fully adjustable strap. So with my 5-inch strap here, what I'm doing to make sure it lays out the way I want it to is just folding it over my D-ring and back on itself where I've got all 3 layers in one spot I can fit a rivet through. And then that center bar buckle is gonna come out my far end here. So all I need to do is get this lined up, and a little bit of a crease, you'll still be able to see what needs to go where. Now that we've got that, I'm gonna punch a hole for my rivet. And when you've got it folded over on your piece, go ahead and just use your thumbnail or something to mark where you want this hole to be. All right, with that hole all the way through, I can lay it out flat again, and the center of that bend where the buckle's gonna go is where I need my slot punch for the tongue of the buckle to go through. So now I've got my little turn back, essentially, as if this were a belt. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my other strip and just mark and transfer my holes directly to it, so I have no guesswork. All right, now we've got both of those done. Thread your buckle on there. With the center bars, you just fold over it, making sure the tongue is facing upwards. And I like to have the top layer kind of facing down towards the bag, so that way it's less likely to snag on stuff. So what you'll do is make sure you get your buckle facing out, thread that tail up around your D-ring, fold it, and bring the top layer back over. Bring your rivet through all 3 layers. So get that threaded through, pop your rivet cap on, and set your rivet. All right, once you've got your rivet run through there, just get a good stable surface to pound on and get your rivet set. For this one, I'm just gonna go ahead and flip my grommet anvil upside down so I've got a little more flat face to work with, because I like a flush set rivet personally, rather than domed. Alright, now we've got that buckle ready to catch that strap so you have it adjustable. Same thing on the other end. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and set the bag aside and keep working on our main strap. So first things first, I just like to go ahead and tip one end of my strap, just whatever shape I want it to be, and measure out my hole spacing. And then I'll put that in the buckle on the bag, pull the other strap around, get about the right length. So that way you don't need to pre-measure necessarily. For your hole spacing, I'd recommend leaving 4 to 5 inches from the tip to your first hole. And mark that there at 4 inches. And now I'm going to set my wing dividers to 1 inch. And I'm going to mark every 1 inch for, I'm going to go ahead and do 5 holes on this one. Alright, get my 5 holes knocked in there. Pretty quick and simple. Thread that onto my bag at one end. And see this, this center bar buckle prevents us from needing a keeper or anything, so the strap will just stay tidy and out of your way. So once you've got your strap on one end, then you'll go ahead and check out your fit, see how you want the bag to hang. Generally this one's a crossbody, so I'd say about there seems good to me. So let's go ahead and give that a little bit of a kink there and mark it with my thumbnail. Alright, so where we marked there, as we measured off the bag, that is our center of the 5 holes. That's kind of our ideal middle of this strap size. So we want to mark that spot and walk 2 holes either direction. Just like a belt, you size it off the middle, that way you've got room both ways. And then as with most of the way I do leather work, I'm just gonna fold over this strap, align the holes with each other, and then I can just mark where I've got it tipped, or in this case, just cut it right there. Alright, now I'm just gonna go ahead and bevel and burnish this strip, but for sake of seeing the finished product before I do so, here it is. Thread your buckle through. Like I said, we just go ahead and use the 3rd hole on both sides. Alright, and then your closure here is just going to be a drawstring, so a bit of paracord, lace, bolo cord, anything like that. We'll have some nice finished photos and close-ups when we're all done with it, but this is the finished bag, how it comes together with that new strap layout. So don't be afraid to change the way our patterns are. If you've got a piece of hardware you want to use and it's not the one we recommend, you don't have to use it. You can change it slightly and make it fit your project. So good luck and happy crafting!